What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Join Dota League Season 5. We're still in the group stages, and it's going to be a best of 2 from the American division between Boreal Esports and Next Level Badasses. I'm Mike Loris, going to be your caster for this evening, and, well, we're a little bit late, kind of as per usual, as much as it pains me to say that. Only 18 minutes off starting time, and the Next Level Badasses asked why they had a time penalty. Yeah. So, yeah, hopefully it's going to be a nice and simple game without USEs crapping out on us or anything else of the sort. But you know what? That is probably not going to happen because that never happens. That being said, Boreal are currently on more or less the complete top of their group, and that is going to be pretty sweet for them. They're currently 4-0. Not too many games played in Division 2-2, so there's 3 American Division 2 divisions, and well, Boreal currently 4-0. Next Level Badasses only 2-2, so not really too terrible for the Next Level Badasses, but Boreal definitely with the edge on the rest of the group. And honestly, Boreal, looking at this group and looking who's on top right now, I honestly wouldn't be too surprised if Boreal led the group. I mean, they are leading the group, but will end up leading the group by the time all of the games are played. As far as I know, they should be one of the strongest teams, if not the strongest team, in their division. So Next Level Badasses, hopefully they truly will be next level, because going up against Boreal, it's going to be a little bit difficult, especially given this opening from Boreal. The ban out of the Bristleback and the Sniper actually going to be skewing the draft a little bit so that Axe can get himself into this game, and Boreal can be more than happy to snatch that one up together with an Ancient Apparition. Well, just preparing for maybe some healing coming out from Next Level Badasses, but overall Ancient Apparition is a reasonable support pick as one of your openers. Probably a little bit weaker than a Vengeful Spirit, as Vengeful Spirit is a little bit more of an independent hero. She can do a lot more by herself, whereas Ancient Apparition, he can do a lot by himself, but only once he hits that level 6 mark, and then, you know, of course, it's his ultimate that's really going to be carrying you from that stage. Before then, he's really all about the team play, which is fine, but you just have to build around it a little bit more. And then, of course, we have the Shadow Fiend pickup for the Next Level Badasses. Been seeing a lot more play, and together with the Vengeful Spirit as an opener is one of the strongest ways you could open. We see them actually banning out the Drow themselves. Would have been an extremely potent combination to grab a Drow, Shadow Fiend, and a Vengeful Spirit, and then, well, probably the Visage as their secondary support. But they're going to decide not to go for that one, instead deciding to ban it out against Boreal. And, well, Axe is a reasonable hero to have in a Drow matchup, but there's really no indication right now that Boreal would have wanted to go for that Drow Ranger. I guess Next Level Badasses just don't really want to deal with it, no matter what. But, yeah, the Drow Ranger ban, a little bit curious coming from them. If Boreal banned it out, I would say, okay, that makes complete sense. 2 range heroes already, with a lot of physical damage, who are going to get even stronger. Probably not worth the risk, but either way, it's out of the pool. Lycan, Tide, and Clock as Boreal trying to get rid of some of these strength heroes, even though Axe would pretty much destroy them all in lane. Just having Initiation on the side of Next Level Badasses, being able to protect the likes of Shadow Fiend with both Initiation power as well as swaps. Well, I mean, it's something that Boreal are going to try to avoid, although getting rid of all the Initiators probably not going to happen. As Batrider's still in the pool, Boreal, they're going to grab the Lion as their secondary support hero, and, well, it's not really anything too strange going on the Boreal side of the map right now, as, I mean, they have their 2 supports, and they have a hero that is fairly independent from said supports. But either way, the opening from Boreal looking extremely safe right now, as the Ancient Apparition kind of makes up for the weakest part of the Lion's game, which is the very, very super early stages of the game when Lion's Spike isn't really going to be doing that much, where he's very soft, very easy to kill. Hex still does a lot, but you really need someone to capitalize off of that Hex, and, well, that something is probably going to be the Chilling Touch. That lets the lanes of Boreal be a lot stronger than they ordinarily would. Centaur Warrunner now going to be the pick for Next Level Badasses. Grabbing that one is he's pretty early, actually. He has fallen out of favor quite a bit, kind of taken over by the Bristleback as far as tanky strength heroes to go to the offlane are concerned. I mean, that's fine, but Centaur still does offer you that utility as far as protecting Shadow Fiend. They kind of do it in different ways. Centaur is kind of just like a brick wall, whereas Bristleback kind of dives into your team, causes a whole lot of chaos, and, well, makes up a whole lot of defense of the Shadow Fiend in that fashion. Not saying one is better or worse, but grabbing a Centaur early is going to offer Next Level Badasses a lot more utility, but it's going to have to lead to something. Like, for right now, They have a Blink Hoof Stomp initiation. That's fantastic, but first of all, Boreal have a Lion to deal with that, and that's probably the best response that you could possibly want. And then they're going to actually have to Hoof Stomp open for something. Usually Mystic Flare is the thing that you want to Hoof Stomp into. And seeing a Morphling on this side for Boreal, that is a very real possibility that next level badasses are going to want to go for that Skywrath Mage. Actually, that would be a really good pick for them right now. They need their secondary support hero, and going up against a Morphling, they would be having enough stuns to deal with it. But no, Ogre Magi is not too terrible either. Doesn't exactly need the setup for the Centaur War Runner, but again, it looks like this draft from next level badasses is all about protecting that Shadow Fiend. They're going to give him swap support, the Stampede support, and Bloodlust so that the Shadow Fiend tries to get out of harm's way, which is a decent way to draft around. It's definitely a hero that's worth drafting as such. He just has that much power. If you keep him alive, then he'll be doing quite a bit of damage. The problem is that he's up against both an Axe and a Morphling, and both these heroes can very quickly just bypass all of that. Axe, of course, with the Blink Call, and Morphling eventually, should he get a shotgun, will aim it right at Shadow Fiend's head, and there's not much a Shadow Fiend can do about that. Like, yeah, you'll have Stampede and Bloodlust, but he's still a very soft hero, and Burst is probably going to be his enemy in this particular game, and hell, Burst is his enemy in almost every game. That's just how Shadow Fiend kind of tends to play out. So if Boreal Esports can put that Burst into Shadow Fiend, then next level badasses, they will find themselves with a lot of magical damage, but a lot of magical damage reliant on cooldowns, as their sustained damage output isn't that high right now.
10 seconds
Against Final Ban's Viper and the Storm Spirit going to get a ban out. Would have been pretty reasonable for Boreal, would have had a lot of CC to deal with, but nowadays teams are just picking Storm Spirit. Well, first of all, because of all the hype from Dak, but second of all, just because he's a long-range initiator. And having a long-range initiator on your side is never going to be a bad thing. Just ask Centaur War Runner, look at Batrider and his popularity. Probably not going to be the pick here for Boreal going up against a Vengeful Spirit, but still they're going to be lacking initiation. Here is about the time where you wish you had something more along the lines of a Clockwork, although it would mess up their lanes a little bit. Initiation, as far as just Axe is concerned, is really hit or miss. Like, you sometimes will catch 3 people, sometimes you'll catch 1, and if you catch 1 person with no creeps, then, I mean, it's not really good initiation, is it? But looking for a mid lane hero, still, I would assume Boreal would be doing that. Running the Morphling in the mid lane isn't going to be terrible versus Shadow Fiend, but Shadow Fiend's definitely a hero that you would want to dominate in lane as opposed to just draw even. And Queen of Pain is certainly a hero that can dominate that Shadow Fiend. Just the Shadow Strike harassment, being able to blink out of Raze danger, and maybe the blink is going to keep her safe versus the Ogre Magi Vengeful Spirit. It is possible for them to, like, you know, catch her on the high ground or something like that, and, you know, surprise her with a stun and then chain stun her down with the Shadow Fiend damage. It's a possibility. But Boreal, as far as their pace keeping in the early game, Queen of Pain Axe, I don't really know if there are many heroes that do it any better. I mean, the burst damage from them is huge. The fact that they're both going to be eventually running around with Blink Daggers is going to put a lot of pressure on that Shadow Fiend and really of next level badasses as a whole. It's either you gotta protect your Shadow Fiend or run out of damage. Next level badasses, I'm assuming they're going to send the Shadow Fiend over towards the mid lane. So that means they're going to be looking for one more hero to try to protect as well. They have a nice shell to protect heroes. And maybe they're going to want to go for a little bit of late game. However, Boreal Esports have already a team that can very heavily punish late game plays. Just because they have the Axe of the Queen of Pain, and Morphling can even get going fairly quickly. If you pick up like a Spectre or something, Morphling will get active before the Spectre will. So what's it going to be for next level badasses? How deep do they want to go? Do they want to just play it safe and grab someone like an Ember Spirit or something like that, or, you know, a hero that can do well in the early stages, or they'll go Anti-Mage. It is going pretty deep into the late game, although the Anti-Mage's activity in the earlier stages, not terrible by any means. Just being able to burn mana going up against an Axe or something like that, and being able to deplete his mana pool is certainly very nice for the Anti-Mage. Will it be enough to get him out of harm's way, though? That's another story entirely. Boreal, they are kind of light on CC. They just have the Call and the Lion set of disables, which is usually going to be enough to deal with the Anti-Mage, assuming you have heroes around. But there are going to be certainly many times in this game where they just fall short just a little bit as far as crowd controlling the right people. Maybe they're just going to rely on burst, but that's never really what you want to do. That being said, let's introduce the teams. We have KVH. It's going to be playing the Axe up towards the top lane, it looks like, for Boreal. 747 is going to be playing that mid lane. Morphling. We got Tiburon heading down towards the bottom lane as the Queen of Pain static on the Ancient Apparition. That leaves Lion to be played by Xuan. He's also going to be heading down towards bottom in what seems like is going to be an offensive Queen of Pain tri-lane Gonna talk about that a little bit later. Up towards top, for the next level badasses, we got DBG on the Centaur War Runner, going to be slugging it up against the Axe. Should be an interesting lane there. Anti-Mage is going to be played by GT Angel, with Yurgity on the Vengeful Spirit, McCoy's Racist Grandpa on the Ogre Magi. Then over towards the mid lane, it's going to be Skitsego on the Shadow Fiend. So, got a couple of weird things going on right off the bat. First of all, Queen of Pain is a hero that we very rarely see in offensive tri-lanes, and it's not that she can't contribute to these offensive tri-lanes. Like, her base damage is decent, her projectile is very good, her range is decent as well. So just having a ranged hero in a tri-lane is never really going to be too bad. But she just needs a lot of experience. That's why we see Queen of Pains always in the mid lane or in a solo safe lane, because they get solo heroes worth of levels. That's the English way to say it. And if you don't get that as Queen of Pain, then you're really going to be struggling. You can't really get the snowball rolling, and a Queen of Pain that doesn't do anything in the mid game is a Queen of Pain that's not going to do anything in the entire game. So this offensive tri-lane for Boreal is, although very strong, going to be very hit or miss. They will either do fantastically or they probably won't do well at all. At least that's my prediction. It could be that they just slog it out, but it will at the very least keep the Anti-Mage off the creep wave. Just being up against 3 ranged heroes and being up against 3 ranged heroes with Chilling Touch, that in itself is enough to keep the next level badasses bottom lane scared, as they're going to go right in. They have Hex level 1. They're going to try to go for the Ogre Magi. He is the hardest one for them to kill, but Chilling Touch is pretty broken. They will get it. No, the Lion's actually going to attack a creep. He might have been on a move there. Regardless, that's the power that they could put out, Boreal. I mean, it forces everyone from next level badasses to go back. They don't really have a good angle to start that fight. This is, in fact, a very poor initiation, as they just decided to, just at a certain point, go. No preparation, just go. And that's not exactly what you want to be doing, but that's the power of their lane. That's what they could do. Secondary interesting thing is going to be happening up towards top, where KVH is going to be going versus DVG. So we got the battle of the triple letter names up towards top, and well, this lane should be fairly Axe favored, as there aren't really many lanes that Axe loses, especially when he can do this. Calls doesn't really get that many spins, actually. KVH, it's only going to work well for him this lane if he gets lucky at all, and that was like, what, 8 attacks, something like that, only got 1 spin. That was very unlucky for the Axe. And over towards mid, Skitsego is actually in a little bit of trouble. Wait for him forward. That's going to be first blood. 747 is going to draw it. Needs to eat his way through that hole, and he will. But Morphling of all heroes is going to be drawing the first blood. I was going to say up towards top, either hero would certainly be able to burst down the other, as we've seen Axe burst down heroes time and time again, and Centaur Warrunner can punish an Axe should he get a little bit too aggressive. But as it stands right now, KVH is dominating the CS, just being up against a melee hero, and I don't think anyone should be surprised about that. But also, it's the fact that 747 is dominating the mid lane, not only getting that kill, but also is currently tripling up the Shadow Fiend's CS, and that's not going to stand a chance to stay the same for the most time, as they do go again down towards bottom Boreal. This is the start that they need for this tri-lane to be successful. But as I was saying, over in the mid lane, you wouldn't expect this lane to be dominated by the Morphling. It would probably be most of the time an even lane. The Shadow Fiend has the range, he'll eventually get the base damage, but starting off with low base damage compared to the Morphling, who did grab that Morph at level 1, means that you're going to struggle to get those initial souls. And if you don't have those initial souls, like he only has 4 right now, granted he did die, but he will not have damage that is comparable to the Morphling. Morphling will have a base damage advantage, and even though his range is slightly less than Morphling, his ability to control the creep wave with his base damage advantage is going to give him an advantage overall in the lane. So it's mid lane being firmly won by Boreal, top lane being firmly won by Boreal, and bottom lane, well, Anti-Mage, where is Anti-Mage? He's up on top lane going up against KVH. This is definitely a much better lane for Anti-Mage, but it's still not a good lane for Anti-Mage. If he gets caught in a creep wave with that call, he's just going to die. KVH will be really unhappy about the fact that there's a mana burner on the other end, so Axe going to be a little bit more restrictive with how he could use his mana there, but Anti-Mage going up towards top, and Ancient Apparition Lion going to be meeting him eventually up there. This is going to leave, for now, Ogre Magi down soul on this bottom lane, but the Queen of Pain with 2 points in Shadow Strike is already, top lane, KVH is going to get Magic Missile, he's going to get the call out, so a lot of extra mana there, and it looks like he will be able to limp his way out of there. I believe the mana break is physical, yeah it is, so you actually do reduce both the right clicks of the Anti-Mage as well as his mana break damage with the Berserker's Call. I don't know how that works. Don't ask how that's supposed to work. But Ice Frog said, and so it shall be physical, and then it was physical. So that's how it works. KVH now going to be the participant in this tri-lane. Maybe a little bit of an unwilling participant in this tri-lane, But Axe in a tri-lane already being level 5 is actually not too bad. Like, being able to charge at the enemy, being able to take a lot of hits with that extra armor in your back pocket is pretty sweet. So KVH is going to be still farming decently, and if he can't, then he'll just go to the jungle. No harm done. Then, of course, down towards bottom lane, the Queen of Pain now going to find herself in a Centaur matchup, as I was saying. 2 points in Shadow Strike already up on her. Up top lane, actually, they get a call into JT Angel, and they get the kill as well. Oh, man, Anti-Mage must have got spun down a hell of a lot. I just saw his health plummet up on top bars. I was a little bit late to the real party. KVH, though, getting a kill anyway with the help of Static. And can I please talk about this bottom lane now? Queen of Pain has already gone for the 2 points in Shadow Strike build, which is not really the build that I would expect going up against the Anti-Mage and the rest of Next Level Badass's previous defensive tri-lane, but it is definitely the build that you want going up against the Centaur. The ability to chip him down with the right clicks after the Shadow Strike is huge, and Centaur, though he does have the Ring of Regen, doesn't really have that much else, and he probably won't have that much else. It's going to be Tranquils for him, which will help, maybe, a little bit, but it's not going to be hugely substantial versus this Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain should have the edge on this bottom lane as long as she has the mana. And right now, she does not. And over towards mid, well, I mean, you're probably going to be winning a lane that is 1v0. If you can't, then, well, you know, you probably should be playing a different game. But the fact that, well, let's put it this way. The highest CSer on the Next Level Badass side has 13 CS 6 minutes into the game. That is abysmal. That is just not where you want to be ever. And I don't care what your MMR is. I don't care what type of game you're playing in. That is not really good farm. Especially when the top CSer of Boreal has 43 CS. So yeah, you're being doubled up in CS. Hell, even on like the Queen of Pain, she's doubling up the most CS on the enemy side. So Anti-Mage, he's going to have to try to recover, but already we see that he's not really going to be in the best of shapes up on this top lane. Fortunately for him, it looked like the Axe is going to be going for a non-Blink Dagger rushed build. So the Anti-Mage is able to play a little bit safer for a little while longer. But I don't really know if he's going to be too happy about that, because these lanes are all being won by Boreal. And not down towards bottom lane, DVG playing a little bit of a game with Tiburon right now. What DVG doesn't know is that there's a lion right around the corner, and if DVG gets hexed, he dies, because there is a Shadow Strike Sonic Wave here, and it looks like he will die. There we go, there's the hex. Blink Sonic Wave? Okay, no, just Scream of Pain Sonic Wave, that's good too. Centaur War Runner very easily going to be brought down by Tiburon with the help, of course, of Schwan. And really, the ganks don't get much easier than that. At half HP, you have a Sonic Wave. Well, at that point, the card kind of drives itself. And now Boreal, they have a decision to make. We have a crushing advantage. They know that they have a crushing advantage. Hell, you can look up here and you can see the advantage. They know that they have a CS edge. What items do we go for in order to capitalize off of this? And usually the answer is going to be damage. If you are ahead, you don't exactly have to be building tanky, because hell, you get away with just bursting them down and use the fact that you are a higher level and they are a lower level to do more damage and kill them off a lot faster than they could kill you off. You can go for a mix of survivability items. Grabbing a mech will allow you to push. Grabbing a force staff will protect you against like blink hoof stomps and stuff like that. But generally it's going to be damage. And for the Morphling right now, he doesn't really have many items that he can go for, only having 700 gold. But rushing like a straight up shotgun is going to be the type of build that he wants to go for. He's going to get jumped. Magic Missile is going to connect. He has a Strength Morph there. Spike going to connect on 747. Not dead yet. Has a wave form now. And the Strength Morph is still ticking. He's trying to bait them in, actually. He's not fully Strength Morphing. He is going to take one more raise, pop the DD, turn around, and try to reinitiate. KVH is coming in. Spike up at the high ground is going to miss. And Morphling is going to survive. But 747 playing a very delicate game. Most Morphlings would be crapping their pants right there, panicking, and just trying to get out of there. Oh, Tiburon cutting off the Vengeful Spirit on the retreat is going to make it 5-0 for Boreal. But yeah, most Morphlings are going to be panicking there, fully Strength Morphing. Just press the button, leave it there, and then you're guaranteed to survive. But he was trying to draw them in. He was deliberately Strength Morphing just a little bit of strength at a time to try to turn things around with the waveform and a double damage rune. Didn't exactly work out for them, as the axe was just a little bit too far away. But still, Next Level Badasses, got to give them credit for trying to do something. But on the Morphling, I don't know if that's really the best target. At this point, you got to go for the softer targets. You got to go for the Lion, and you got to go for this Ancient Apparition. Even going for Queen of Pain is a lot more viable given the amount of stuns that they have. But right now, Next Level Badasses, they're not getting anything in this entire map. Just when there's a green hero on the top of this last hit deny chart, then they're doing well. but or doing okay. But until then, Boreal are just crushing this game. Like, you can even tell if you look at Skidsego's build. This is not actually a build that Shadow Fiends go for. This isn't some sort of niche, I'm going to be going for this build because tactically it's better build. At least I don't think so. I could just be completely out of the loop. But Presence of the Dark Lord, reducing the armor by 3, it's actually a remarkably good value skill to get, but it's not really good when you compare it to the levels of Shadow Rays or Necromastery that he could have instead. So the Shadow Fiend has gone for a really janky build, and I think it's mostly out of necessity. He's just trying to jungle up, and up towards top lane, Yurgity, oh, he's going to stun out the axe before he gets called, and that will actually save his life. But KVH has backup here in the form of a Morphling. No one expects the ganking Morphling. And the Centaur Warrunner with no mana won't expect it either. But 747 will back off for now. He probably was spotted going up there anyway. But yeah, this game is... Wait. Oh, they lowered this. Cool. I thought something was weird. Sorry, guys. I just... This is like being played on the... For anyone, I guess, watching the VOD or anything, this is being played literally right after they patch in the... what's it called? Yearbeast patch? Oh, by the way, Skidsego's dying. Yeah, Ancient Apparition, Ice Blast, Waveform in, and then a Spike to seal the deal there. But yeah, this is right after patch, so I'm sure there's going to be a couple of new things, but this is really sweet. I like it down here. Why wasn't it here first? This makes so much more sense. Like, I can actually see things now, and it's not going to overlap with the last hit deny chart. It's cool. I like it. Thank you, Volvo. The big question is, though, can I draw on the map while paused? Because if the answer to that is yes, then hell, I'm all in. Like, this is going to be the best patch ever. I also haven't played the Yearbeast, which is kind of interesting, but I really wish there was a separate mode for it instead of it being in unranked all pick, which I enjoy playing. It's better than ranked. Take my word for it. Either way, we have a game still going on here as I'm rambling on about different things. 0-6 in favor of Boreal, and they're just firing artillery all across the map, such as up towards top lane, where Centaur is going to get hit pretty darn hard. KVH going to be wishing he had a Blink Dagger right about now, but he's trying to pressure out the Stampede or TPs, is going to get one TP from the Venge, who quite frankly can't afford it in this game. Anti-Mage still trailing behind the lowest core farmer of Boreal in Tiburon. And it looks like Tiburon is, well, packing the ring Basilius, which is kind of an unordinary item for the Queen of Pain, but also is looking to go for what looks like an Orchid. They're going to run into McCoy's Racist Grandpa in the jungle. No Finger of Death here for the Lion, but they do have a blink forward. Queen of Pain, Sonic Wave will get the kill, or they could just use Scream of Pain and then just save it for later. AA going to draw that one. 7-0. What's it going to be? What score are we going to land on, do you think, for Boreal before Next Level Badasses get a kill? Because I'm thinking Next Level Badasses will get a kill, but by that time Boreal will have 10. That's what I'm calling right now, because the ability for Next Level Badasses to get kills is very, very restricted. Again, you got to deal with the Queen of Pain, who has Blink. You got to deal with the Morphling, who has Strength Morph and, I guess, Waveform, so he has also kind of a Blink. And he's also killing your Vengeful Spirit. 4 hits. Oh, he's going to try to disrupt out of that adaptive. He's actually not going to get that kill. He was playing a little bit cute, I think, but either way, yeah, they have to go for these hard-to-kill heroes, Axes of Vanguard, and a Blink Dagger, or, you know, enough gold for a Blink Dagger, so he's really difficult to kill, and as long as AA and Lion play their cards right, and Lion has a freaking Blink Dagger as well, oh my god, then, yeah, then who are you actually going to kill? AA is still the most viable, but he even has an Ogre Club, so their targets, not really that many, and their damage output isn't really that high, and that's not a good combination, so, yeah, this is going to be very difficult game for Next Level Badasses to do anything in at this point. Here comes another artillery shot over towards mid lane. Still a DD rune up on Morphling, going to use that to take down Stone Tower. Over towards bottom lane though, Finger of Death for Centaur War and a Sonic Wave will connect. Will this damage be enough? The poison, Scream of Pain, not going to do it. And looks like DVG will survive. In the meantime, mid lane, they're going to jump in onto the Vengeful Spirit. Skitsego going to arm his ultimate, but will get disrupted out with that adaptive strike. 10-0. Where's the kill for Next Level Badasses? Make me correct. It's still not too late for me to be correct, but the window is closing. The window is certainly closing. There's an Orchid coming up into run. There's a Blink Hex on Lion. There's a Blink on the Axe. There is, what's on the Morphling? A Lincoln Sphere? Really? I mean, it is a really good item for Morphling. It's a really good item for Morphling in this game, going up against Mana Void, Magic Missile, Ignite, Double Edge, and Fire Blast. Those are all things you want to dodge. But, come on, man. You have a 10 kill advantage and you can't think of anything more fun to go for than a Lincoln Sphere? Show me that naked shotgun. Walk around with 400 HP and blow people up. That's what I want to see. This is, of course, the safe and responsible decision, But, you know, that's in air quotes, safe and responsible. But who wants to see that? Come on, give us something good. He's going to be farming the mid lane pretty safely, though, with his replicate. Still, DVG has no blink dagger. He's going to try to chase forward for 747. That's not going to work. In fact, he has to be careful, because there is an ancient apparition right around the corner, plus, of course, KVH and Xuan both with blink daggers, and Queen of Pain with blink as well. So now that the bottom lane for Boreal is pushed so far, they could bounce between this lane and this lane very, very easily and very, very quickly. And it will all be hidden to the next level badass side, because they crucially do not have vision up on this high ground. So if they did, they would see the rotations, they would see heroes bouncing back and forth, but unfortunately, they don't, so they won't. And Boreal, they're actually the ones with vision right now. Like, this rune, this ward rather, is very nice usually when you're in this type of tower situation, but yeah, this is not really the ward that they want. It's actually just not going to be doing anything. It's going to spot that there's now an observer over here, but that is also going to be fairly irrelevant in this game. But Boreal, they're about due to give up a death. Secondary question, now that it is 10-0, and it might not be going to 110 anytime soon, who is going to give up this kill for Boreal, if anyone at all? I personally have my money on the Queen of Pain. I think though she does have blink, she will get chain stunned, and she has the highest chance of dying off of said chain stun. I'm not saying that Tiburon's a bad player, far from it. I mean, he's 2-0-2, he's playing the Queen of Pain, played it from an offensive tri-lane, and has transitioned very well since then. But just his hero in general. I don't care who's playing the Queen of Pain. They will have, I think, the highest chance in dying this game. Or the Lion, but Lion's like the easy bet. Like, you don't just say, oh, it's probably gonna be the soft support hero. That's too easy. I'm gonna say it's gonna be Tiburon. So if Tiburon proved me wrong, show me that blinks are going to be outweighing these chain stun of next level badasses. They're gonna jump into the Roshan pit, Crimson Guard active. And Roshan, well, he's not going to be the fastest, but then again, what can next level badasses actually do about this? The Roshan fight actually isn't that strong. A Mana Void in a Roshan pit is, the Requiem is also, especially when you have not that many souls, it's not going to be doing that much damage, and it's only level 1. Oh, damn it. Well, guys, I tried. Oh, okay, I guess I'm wrong. Shit. They proved me wrong, but this also kind of confirms what I was saying. Tiburon is going to get the chain stun, he's going to be the one in most trouble, therefore he gets the Aegis. And if they didn't get the Aegis, he would have been the one to die. Right? Right, guys? Right? Guys? Anyone? Okay. Well, it doesn't seem like anyone's agreeing with me, but you know what? Still, it's Boreal just to get an advantage in this game, to say the least. I'm scared of pressing this button, but I will. Oh my god. Yeah, it's almost 20,000, not even 20 minutes into the game. I want to say this is by far the most advantage I've seen accrued by a team, the fastest, like the fastest most advantage. But I actually have no idea if that's true or not. The top tower is going to be bowled over without a fuss. And next level badasses, well, they have their initiation now. Blink Dagger, 17 minutes, rather late for a Centaur, but really, what other options do you have? Top lane is going to go down, and Centaur, it's time to make your team proud. Make the score 1-11 and prove me right in something. Because Boreal, they're right outside your front door. They have Aegis, they have everything they possibly want. AA is getting a little bit too far ahead, and that might actually be an opening for the Centaur to pounce. But Fortification is there, and Anti-Mage is not. He doesn't actually have that much to contribute aside from a Mana Void. But at this point, they kind of have to fight with everyone, because if they don't, then they're just going to lose the game. And if they don't jump in, eventually, then they're still just going to lose the game. Centaur, all eyes are on you. He's going to look for a blink in, hoof stomp in, going to only catch KVH, however, he's going to get Hex Stampede already used, though. He is going to be blown up with the spike, still alive for now. KVH is dropping very low. Requiem not going to kill off. Actually, it will. It's going to be 1-13, though, as already 3 heroes have died for the next level badass side. Anti-Mage still not having a part of this one. They only kill off the Axe, who actually died a lot faster than I thought because he's gone for a lot of physical resistance and not as much magical or general health. But 1 for 3, not a good trade. 1 for 3, and Rax is an even worse trade. And Aegis is still up, and Anti-Mage, he has he's almost close to a Battle Fury. That's not good. Man, that is not good at all. So yeah, Boreal, they've taken Rax's pre-20 minutes. which 9 times out of 10 is going to be a death sentence. Swap back, actually. Kasego's going to jump in, try to go for Static, but a nice 2-man spike from Swan might give Static his life, and Yurgity looking for it. He can't find the kill. He's going to bring down Tiburon, but he's back with the Aegis. He's going to try to go for Kasego and Yurgity, going to chain stun up that Queen of Pain. He will drop very low. Sonic Wave through everyone, though, and he's going to live for a little while longer. Hoofstomp into 747, not going to kill him off yet. With another Dapper Strike, they will get yet another kill, 1-16, and they only succeed in killing off the Queen of Pain's Aegis. Oh, man, this game... Is it already over? Well, the servers die, so yeah, it's over. GG, guys. No re. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. No. We're back. We're back. The servers are not... The servers are back. No, yes, pick one. I actually don't know what I said to prompt that, but yeah, yes. The answer is yes. Alright, well, it's 1-16. There's a Rax advantage for Boreal. And as I was saying, most of the time that's just going to be game if it's pre-20 minutes. There are very, very few lineups that could defend against that. And if in order to defend against that, you need to have like all of your heroes feeding except for like a really, really fed Medusa or something like that. That's really your only chance. Or have like a Keeper of the Light or something, like one of those obnoxious counter pushers. Like if you have Coddle, Tinker, and a farm Medusa, then yeah, you have a chance. But not with this next level badass draft. They have a chance, but it's not really a substantial one right now. Because even if the Anti-Mage gets his item, literally who cares? Like, he will be able to farm a little bit faster. Great, so you're going to be clearing more creep camps while your base is dying. There's also an Aghanim Scepter up on the Ancient Apparition. It's not a level 2 ultimate yet, unfortunately. If it was, he would be kind of actually close to one-hit killing. Like, Yurgity just got messed up by that. If that was level 2, it wouldn't be a one-hit kill, but it's very close. And that's not supposed to be right. That's not how Dota is supposed to be played. One-hit killing people is unfair, and you shouldn't do it. That being said, 747 also has a one-hit kill tool. And not completely one-hit kill, but, you know, for the most part, I would call that a one-hit kill. KVH is a feeder. I know. KVH has to step up his game. Jesus, the only death on his team. What a feeder. Clearly, he's the weak link of Boreal right now. Clearly. But another Artillery Blast is going to come in through the mid lane, and that's going to be followed up by the rest of Boreal. Anti-Mage doesn't even have his Battle Fury yet. Dude, get your Battle Fury. Your team needs you. Your team desperately needs you right now because your base is, well, I don't know if you could call this your base anymore. It's kind of the Dyer's base now. They kind of just walked in and took over. The Radiant base is under new ownership. Link forward call. McCoy is in so much trouble right now. Shotgun is going to kill him off. Requiem off to the side. Skitsego going to survive that as they jump in. Going to kill off the Queen of Pain. I was kind of right. They're going to miss the dunk on the DVG, but they will kill him off regardless. 747 is still alive. We'll go straight for Yurgity. A couple more shots will kill him off. Link forward from Skitsego will get one kill, but he will give his own life for it. Static 747, the only ones alive right now. Stomp forward from DVG. Not going to hit. 747 still alive right now. Lincoln Sphere going to keep him alive from that Lincoln Sphere. He will drop fairly low, though. Strength Morph is commencing. Blink forward from the Anti-Mage. Swap back as well. 747 doesn't have any more mana, and he's going to run out of strength. He's going to get hoof stomped and killed off. Everyone from Boreal dead. Comeback time? Is it comeback time, guys? I think it might be comeback time. Next level badasses. They have the Battle Fury on Anti-Mage. They have this much gold gained. The problem is it costed them 3 buybacks, so, you know, all this gold they gained, not really going to be helping out too much. But hey, Anti-Mage is a little bit more farmed. That's nice, I guess. But yeah, still Boreal. They've taken 2 Raxes up, and as long as they don't do that like 5 more times, and they actually have to do it like 5 more times, then they'll be fine. And especially if they get a kill on Anti-Mage right now. Blink, Hex, Spike is there as well. Finger of Death. Oh, it's actually not going to kill off the Anti-Mage. It was only a level 1 Finger of Death, I suppose. Oh, they see a courier. Kill the courier. Oh, poor bug thing. Skibbins the Scarab. It had the Yasha of the Anti-Mage, which wouldn't have helped him at all. But you know what? Yeah, rest in peace, courier. This game is, yeah, there's good games and then there's bad games. This is not really what I would call a good game. The game that's this one-sided, you can never really say is a good one, because even after getting white, Boreal still have a 20k advantage in gold, and I don't think they're going to stop for anybody. Pain Train does not stop. I don't know why my mouse is constantly zooming out, guys. I'm sorry about that. Like, it usually doesn't do this. I think my mouse might be getting old or something. But hopefully it's not going to do that for much longer. Like, it only sometimes does it. But, yeah, I'll try to keep that to a minimum. Either way, Boreal going to go in for the death push. And Stampede is there. Stomp onto KVH. Requiem being charged on the side, but he will get annihilated. Sonic Wave going to fly through as well. They decapitate the Centaur, kill off the Ogre Magi. Now go chasing forward for Yurgity. The Mana Void does nothing to KVH, and that will be GG. GT Angel has enough mana to blink out. Will he have enough to survive, though? Blink forward from everyone and their mom. He does live, but his Ancient dies. That's going to be a good game. Boreal absolutely destroying next level badasses in game 1, making them pay for waiting 15 minutes past the game start time. And this is a best of 2, guys. I hope that Boreal, or I hope that next level badasses can pull something together for game 2. But after a game like this, yeah, it's going to be hard for them. Regardless, guys, I'm Mike Loris. I've been your caster for this game, and I will be right back for game 2.